Hello, welcome to another Wraggys Taproom. And just walking down to the shed, put the old lights on and all that. So, here we go. And there we go. Good evening, all. Hope we're doing well on a Sunday afternoon. I will turn the old lights on. And there we go. Put the old lights on, put that in, and there we go. And that is better. So, welcome. And what a day. Football's on at the moment, so I presume a lot of people are watching football, to be fair, which you can't fault them. I wouldn't know. But, good evening, Thomas and Kevin. So I'll just put this in. There we go. I can get some internet on my thing. And then get some beer on the way, because obviously beer is what it's all about, isn't it? Got the old Ruby. Yeah, I've still got about 8 bottles of it, so it is what it is. Good evening, Stephen Negan as well, mates. How are you? And just get this internet up on this so I can, there we go, I'm connected. So if I click on that and refresh that, somebody's talking in the background. Oh, that's better. Oh, steaming. New shirt, yeah. So the wife got me this at Christmas, a Wraggys beer review shirt. Although, there's another thing, coming forward, I do wonder whether Wraggys beer reviews, beers, wines and spirits reviews should be the name of the channel. I'm actually thinking of just knocking it down to Wraggys reviews or Wraggys beer reviews, because the wines and spirits, you review. I do wonder whether it's a little bit too much. Brennan Johnson, hey, he's a good lad. Tell you what, if Forest could bring in Gareth Bale, that would be interesting. Mersey Beers, good evening, mate. England are crap. I've not watched them. That'd be jet washing for 3 hours. Jet washing. Ooh. Good evening, Michael. Wraggys beer reviews. Yeah. It's going to either be Wraggys beer reviews or just Wraggys reviews. Yeah, I think it's got to come where I ditch the older. He's off to Cardiff. Cardiff. What football is on? I think it's the UNICEF thing. England versus rest of the world or something. I'm not really sure. I know it's coming on. But load of old blokes. Wraggys BWS reviews. Yeah, nah. San Marino versus Malta. I think I'd rather watch somebody drinking beer. So there we go. Oh, nice bit of Leffe. Tastes even nicer when it's free. And let's be fair, all beers taste nicer when they're free. Just put that there. Oh. Luckily, it's a lower ABV Leffe, so it's not too strong on in the ABV department, which is probably a good thing. I don't want to get steaming out of my head. Good evening, Liam, mate. Some cracking breweries this week coming. Dry day so far. Yeah. Can't remember what a dry day was. Yeah. Don't think I've had a dry day in about 5 years. I was given this, Thomas, by a friend of mine. He popped 15 bottles on. When the batteries in the clock getting changed, I don't think it matters. I think the clock's broke. Yeah. So that's when me and Mrs. Wraggy got married. Yeah. 11th of July, 1998. So that's when we got married. Still together as well. Friday's going to be amazing. Yeah. I don't know. I can't even see how many people are on. Don't tell you. All I can see is myself. That's it. But Friday's going to be an absolutely stunning occasion. Nottingham's Beer Festival this year. It's going to be rammed, but there's going to be a load of us there. It's just going to be a laugh, proper laugh. The beer room's coming down, isn't it? Although I've actually picked up 6 new beers today across here. Spent 20 quid, picked up 6 new beers. Although 2 of them are friends, so that they're going to friends, and the other 4 are getting reviewed this week. Have I tried the top rope Emperor's Cola? No, mate, no. And good evening, Mr. Brownell. How are you? I tell you what, Nottingham's Beer Festival is going to be a stunner. Now, getting a bloody hotel or getting travelling backwards and forwards, all decent weather on Friday. Always what you want, isn't it? Good t-shirt weather, getting good beers down you, and plenty of food as well. Yeah. It's going to be a stunning day. Slurpee in the house. And yeah, it's going to be heaving. Friday is definitely the best place. 31 degrees centigrade. Ooh. Beer from Belgium called Delirium. I've actually reviewed that on the channel. Yeah, it came out in Tesco's years ago, and I reviewed it. Yeah, it's a good beer. Will Forest survive? There's the thing. Getting up and staying up is key. A lot of clubs have not done it, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. It's all about the right money, the right players, and the right mentality as well, isn't it? If it comes down to support, Forest support is unbelievable. We were bottom of the league and pulling 25,000 in, so that tells you how good the support is. Other than that, very difficult to say. This week, Bullman, at the Beer Festival, Nottingham Beer Festival, there's a load of exclusive Emperor's beers coming to the Beer Festival. He posted on his personal and his brewery page the other day the list of beers he's got coming, and there's some belters, absolute belters. The problem is, there's only so much you can drink. Instead of doing thirds, they need to do 1/6, just a small bit, just to give you the taste. And quick, bish bash bosh, 20-second review. That's it. Next bit. Christmas ones I'm sure I've had the Christmas one as well, Delirium. I'm sure I have. See you later, mate. Good evening, Darren. So yeah. Gonna be a good beer festival next week. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting out and interacting with other beer drinkers. When you meet other beer drinkers, it's great because everyone's got a bit of a love of the beer, not just lager, and no one wants a fight, which is always a good thing. And great news. And yeah, beer is a universal language to get people talking. It is. It's great. 100 mil pours. Some of the big. I think 100 mil pours is a good idea. One, it's cheaper for people on a bit of a budget, but also for people who want to try more. A less of a pour is actually a good idea. And then if the brewery wants to give you a bit more, that's always good. But 100 mil, you could turn around to people and say, we don't do like tryouts. 100 mils is the lowest we do, and that stops a lot of these untapped people just wanting to get a bloody it's a mouthful. Just wanting to get that beer, clicking on it, like a sample. That's what bloody word. But doing that way, it's a good way to kill off the people who just want samples. Adam, first time I had Hogarden, my mate bought me a pint of it. It took me 3 flipping hours to drink it. It was like, oh my God, this is rancid. Absolutely rancid. Had the Dragon Stout tonight. Yeah. It's surprising, isn't it, what beers are lovely beers, even though you've never tried them before. Oh, right, let me get some beer down. I've been in half tanked already, to be fair. I had some of the Imperial chocolate stout earlier, chocolate chili stout, and then went in the hot tub. So the hot tub's proper chilled me out, and then the beers made me sleepy. I'm sure I've had Dragon Stout before. Supermarket beer. Sure I have. Absolutely sure I have. Not sure if I've reviewed it though, but I've certainly had it. Although over the years, you forget what you've had in your hands, don't you? You know, as things go and you start drinking beer, one forgets. And if you don't forget, you've done well. I forget how I get home when I've had a beer, which is deadly. I mean, how the hell do I, sometimes I wonder how the hell do I get home? And luckily, this Friday, I'm going out with a lot of people. Somebody will get me home. Yeah, hopefully. Oh, that's tasting beautiful. So that's Leffe from, is it that way? Yep. Leffe, whatever it is. Leffe Ruby. 5%, very fruity beer. Going down well. So so next week, flipping amazing amount of big breweries. And I did say to the wife, London Pride, I don't mind London Pride. I liked it more in the older days, to be fair. But these days, Golden Pride is probably my favourite of the colours. The vintage ale, I do love the vintage ale, but I can never get the bleach. Unless I go to the website. I'm not paying website prices. I'd rather pay somewhere cheap. Leffe Blonde is your spoons choice a bit. I've been in the spoons for a while. I did go in the Samuel Hall in Sherwood, and we had some food in there. But yeah, Golden Pride, 8.5%. It's a spot nicely. But yeah, and we may well be going in Wetherspoons on Friday morning to get some breakfast. Bottle of Golden Pride in Vintage Ale 2019. Don't know how you keep your beers so long. All my good beers are gone. Yeah. In fact, when I get a good beer, that's the first beer I choose. I'm like a kid in the sweet shop. I want the best sweets first, and then leave the shite till last. I.e., what's on the beer wall. Bengal Lancer. Yeah, that used to be really nice back in the day. I'm not sure it's even at Sainsbury's these days. You need to go to Spoons for a Leffe glass. Yeah, might have to. Funny how you pick glasses up these days. Yeah. Yeah. Walk out with none, then come back with five. It happens, doesn't it? You know. I don't know how they get in your pocket. I reckon somebody slips them in my pocket. And although last year at the Robin Hood Beer Festival, I started off with a tulip glass, ended up with a tankard, and I'd obviously put my glass down, absolutely steamed. And the wife picked me a glass up, thinking that was the right glass, but it wasn't. Well, it's vintage 2007. Wow, that and the other beer reviewers in the room, that would be worth a pretty penny, would it not? Benjamin, I'll buy it. Yeah, darn, I bet you would. It's called liberating a glass, yeah, or acquiring. I do like the word acquiring, yeah. Most of your glasses are from Spoon. In some ways, you know, because they make a massive profit on everything they sell, losing the odd glass isn't too bad a thing for them. 2001 being sold for 250 quid. So 2007, 150 quid's worth, you think? But yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Then you get somebody come up to you and say, I give you a tenner for that, mate. It's out of date. Good evening, Shane. How are you, mate? And good to know that Russell's joining us next week as well. So there's going to be minimum of 5 of us to start the day off in town at 10:30. And the wife and her mates are joining. So my other mates are joining. Crummy Beard's going to be down there. Good evening, David. Crummy Beard's going to be down there. Craft Beer Basic, he works down there. Red Dog Brewer, the other Nottingham beer reviewer, he's going to be down there on Magpie's Bar. He'll be steaming. He does like his beer. Might get the odd freebie as well. You never know, you look. If his boss isn't watching. But yeah, going to be absolutely belting. Two Shanes in the house. Good evening. Oh, so already I'm looking at the beers at this beer festival, and I've got three. I've got my last year's beer of the year, Lumiere. Good evening, Ride 63. I've got two of this year's beers of the year already at the beer festival. Oh, dangerous, dangerous times. Pint of beer is now £5 to £6. Somebody today said that some of the lagers touching £8 for a lager, and that's Heineken. Fucking Heineken for £8. Eh? You won't go to a pub. I'm sorry, but you would just go. You'd forget about going to. I know that we all want to support pubs. They've been through a rough time, but £8's a bit steep. Five, and yeah. So if you was paying for an Imperial, £6 is actually quite cheap. I paid for half a pint of Statement of Intent, the Bang the Elephant barley wine at 12%. I paid £4.50 for that for half a pint, which is not a bad price. And I was steaming afterwards. So yeah, one time I drank that and it's like, oh shit, shouldn't have done it. But they didn't do thirds, and I wanted it on keg just to see what it was like on keg. Bushy's bitter still £2.80. Pay five for Heineken. No, mate, I don't think I would either. No. €10 a pint. That's a piss take. €10. And then you wonder why people are going out of business. And you wonder why you're gifting it to the homebrew trade. Because people think, oh, I'm not doing that. I can brew my own beer for something like 50p a pint or even less. You know, you can brew beer for as little as 30p a pint. It might not be cask standard, but you know, it gets you drunk. But £5 and more so for Heineken. Ooh, that's a lot of money. And is this what the government wants? Because this, in some ways, this is the government saying stopping people from drinking too much because you can't afford to, or making more money off through tax and whatever reason. Because obviously the pubs and the breweries only make so much. It's government who make most of the money off beer. I know that a cask of, is it 40 pints, something along those lines, goes from somewhere between 50 and 70 quid. So you imagine that's literally, say, £1.75 a pint, roughly, if you're paying the top end. Put back on the police. Yeah. They'll be fighting in their own asses. So you can imagine that if you're paying £4.50 for that, then there's a lot of it going to the government, straight to the exchequer. Yeah, yeah. So when the prices go up, the government's making good coin. And then the same with petrol, energy levels, food. The government are making a fortune off us. You know, they're not overly bothered about dropping prices because at the moment they're repaying COVID back at an enormous rate. It does make you wonder in the world whether there's more to it than meets the eye. It does. Yeah, go back on, please. People on low wages are really getting pummeled at the moment. So the government are on about helping those on benefits, and the rich can dive away from paying taxes anyway. And it's the working man and woman that are the ones getting absolutely pummeled from every single side. It's really scary in a lot of ways. But for people on low wages, you're basically forcing people to work silly hours just to pay bills. Never mind going out and enjoying a bit of life. You know, it is tough. And at the moment, there's no way of it coming out of it at the moment. Yeah, I reckon that as well, Mersey Bears. I reckon there'll come a time when all of a sudden they'll do their absolute best to drop everything and life will become a lot more bearable. But at the moment, obviously, it's not. Good afternoon, Mark. Yeah, they're getting COVID. They're getting the money back from COVID in a massive way. Yeah, those billions are definitely going back. The Impy Cherry has brought us cost me 64 pence per bottle for ingredients. Wow. And luckily you're not selling that, but it's interesting, isn't it? So obviously I'm going to brew some beers in the next month. Um, whether I go down the grain yet to be seen. Don't know what the wife's getting me from the birthday. But the kits are going up in prices as well. The beer kits, there were a couple of £2 or £3 higher than what they were. And yeah, I won't be surprised, Shane. I won't be surprised if it's all planned. And governments around the world know this. One must not be so foolish as to know there isn't a higher conspiracy involved in the world that we live in. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I am an X-Files watcher. So you've watched X-Files and then COVID happened, and it's like, oh yeah. And it does make you chuckle. I mean, I don't believe it's all as bad as what you think, but it does make you wonder. Good evening, Mark. And then the higher the beer goes up, mate, the more duty. Um, Craft beer breweries were telling me on a pint of on imperial stouts, they 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 get they make very little on imperial stout. Kids actually stay for Father's Day beer kits, definitely. Mersey beers, mate. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, there's an easier way of going all great by brewing a bag. For me, I don't want to go the full. I don't want to spend 5 or 6 hours brewing because it's a ball ache, and I ain't got that time. Good evening, PJ. But build back better. Yeah. Kiss my arse in that respect. Yeah. But I'd love to go to experiment and do that. And yeah, imagine sending your beer to pubs and getting them to put it on. And people drinking your beer and going, yeah, that's actually quite nice. Yeah. But no, that's shit. Maybe by that beer review. Talks out of his arse. I think this is the year also that some of the local breweries will get noticed much bigger. COVID pushed a lot of breweries back into their shelves, but this year with Craft Beer Festival, certain breweries, a couple of local breweries, are definitely going to get noticed on the national stage this year, which is really good for them. And next Friday will be the start of all that, to be fair. You brewed in the bag during lockdown, too much time. So I've got grain brewed in the bag. Huh? That's what I'm thinking of. I mean, it's time's my big killer. I ain't got a lot of time, but it's so busy. Bulgaria, Germany, Luxembourg, women in Spain, lowest in tax. Yeah. Finland, Ireland, and UK. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's all right paying tax as long as you're getting good wages. You don't mind paying some. But cryo hops, yeah, they're the rage, aren't they, at the moment? Cryo hops. Certainly in my neighbourhood, the garden. Facts and figures are good though, aren't they? Because if you don't know, you don't know. Yeah, it's so interesting. So I pour myself another beer because Spain owe the EU a lot of money. I'm surprised with Spain. You know, with their tourism that comes in, obviously not during COVID, but their normal tourism, that they aren't one of the richest in Europe because just about everybody goes to Spain. What's shit for? Yeah. Right. Yeah, that is a crappy pour. BBC. Let's get a license for that. Hot between T90 and crap. 23% tax from the off license. Ooh, ouch. No wonder everyone drives across into Londonderry and gets their beers from there. Spain's an unemployment hotspot. You look at Britain though at the moment. I know you slag Britain off, but at the moment there's more jobs than people in this country, in the UK. Crazy, isn't it? It's surprising that anybody's out of work. Obviously, you've got to be trained. You've got to be qualified for that sort of job to be doing it. But in a lot of yeah, I understand, righty. You know, it is it is scary. People working, money. Ooh, yeah, Benjamin, they are. My job's not much above minimum wage, and even for my skill set and that, it does. There is a bone of contention, I tell you. There really is. Ooh, that's not good when you get issues with your car, PJ. Been there, yeah, not good. Last thing you want is red lights come on when you're driving. About the UK tourist in Spain would be skinned. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they're very. I think they're very glad that the English, well, the British, are going back over there. Soccer Aid on TV, like watching Derby. There was an EFL thing about Derby earlier. A statement. I haven't read it. I've just seen it flip up on Twitter. Didn't go any further into it, but makes you wonder what it is, nonetheless. So, hope everyone's got a good week coming up. I'm on a 4-day week. I've got 2 long days, Tuesday and Wednesday, 11, 12-hour days. And yeah, Wednesday finishing at 3 o'clock. Sorry, Thursday finishing at 3 o'clock. And that's it for the week. Back on Monday. 3-day weekend. Plenty of boozing consumed on Friday. Maybe on Thursday. Probably alive on Thursday evening, to be honest. Yeah. Mark, we need to get back into doing industry. We need to be self-sufficient and not depend on any other part of the world. Not for anything. Build, do the lot here. 3-day normal week. Like, yeah, 4-day week. Day off this week and a day off next week as well. A week on Friday, my birthday, so I'm off to Fort Park for 2 days. So I should be doing a beer review from Fort Park. I'll take some beers with me to Fort Park, and Burton upon Trent was the brewing capital of the world. Well, it isn't in some ways. It's still a big area for brewing. Um, Not much today, mate. No, been in the octo, been doing bits and bobs, but nothing more. Putting light fittings up, things like that. Cleaning. Yeah, we're just getting the house back to normal from the dining room. So yeah, who knew that taking the ceiling out would mean the floor would have to go as well? Hey, been fun. Doing a 5-day week myself. I work on the other two. That is delicious fruity beer. I could absolutely session on it. And being as somebody sent me it for free, I'm all good. New York went to Barry Island today. Yeah, I did read that was coming. Yeah, yeah. You should never rely on the rest of the world. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. Make things cheaper over here. It's like buying clothes from China and that. All you're doing is giving money to a country that at some stage is going to go rogue. Look at Russia, and we should be self-sufficient. Exactly, Mark. We're a big enough island with Ireland as well. We're a big enough island to do everything ourselves, albeit farming, food making, using the wind and oil, gas, so that the world's prices don't affect us. And I still don't understand why. If we can make oil so cheap and gas so cheap that we're paying silly prices, beggars believe. Bass Brewery at Burton. Bass is just a name now, isn't it? It's not even a brewery anymore, is it? Is it Marston's own? Oh, it's Marston. These fermenters were a series of beer about. Yeah. Fitting kitchen next week. Hey, I've got a new kitchen to put in soon. You're damn right. We must become more self-sufficient. I think all countries must be. And then you stop giving money to the bad countries of the world. I mean, the likes of Russia will always be able to fund something. But surely they haven't got the reserves to fund this war indefinitely. At some stage, you're going to break your own country. You think it's my house is about 100 years old, Dad. Yeah, it's an old house. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Luke John. How you doing? Marston's own Bass. I thought it did. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like Bass trademark. It's not a bad beer for a quid. Yeah, it's better than Ruddles. But yeah, a lot of those breweries, when they get brought out by these mega breweries, it all turns to shit. The names just die. Look at Witchwood now. Witchwood. Saudi Arabia can waste 17 billion on gold. I know it's criminal, isn't it? There's more money in the world to give everybody a good bit of money to live on. France make 20 pence from every pound that is spent in Britain. Maybe. Let's hope not. That would be awful. Marston's do use the old Union fermenting thing. It's an open top system. Yeah, at the Marston's Brewery in Durham, they still use that system, which is really strange. When you think that flies and spiders and whatever can get into it, bit of bird shit. Yeah, it's a funny old system. I remember going down to Sadler's for their brewery tour before they got bought out by them tossers up north. Who was it? Halewood, yeah, Wraggys basically. And yeah, they were actually taking the piss out of Marston's by saying all our fermentation vessels are sealed, unlike the people up the road. And obviously, on about Marston, I can see a good thing for it, and I can also see a bad thing for it. I mean, um, wild yeast getting in, and like you say, bird shit and all sorts of stuff. Keep the windows shut. Yeah, yeah. Maggie Thatcher, she was different. But the British public stopped her with council tax, and the British public need to rally up and stop this cost of energy crisis, not just live with it. And but you need Labour to start big demonstrations around the country, and then for people to actually get off the arse and join them demonstrations. France, the fifth biggest shareholders of British Energy. Ridiculous, isn't it? This is ridiculous. Ooh, what can you do to make a red wine dry? Put much sugar in originally? There's a question. Um, possibly more grape juice. Obviously, nothing with sugar in, you know. More yeast, maybe. That's an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, putting too much sugar in. With wine, I stick to what the instructions tell me. Reason being is that the ABV um, is what it is. But yeah, more yeast to burn the sugar off, certainly. Um, but that is an interesting question to be fair. Poll tax, that was it. Well, it's not council tax. Poll tax. Yeah, for every single person bloody got fingered in your house. Yeah, ridiculous. So you get paid just not for salaried. My wife was on salary, and she was doing 12-hour days, but only getting paid for 8. It was twattish. And in the end, I said to her, "Fucking get rid of that job because you're not seeing your family. You're only getting paid so many hours, and they take piss." And I prefer to work my shift and get paid my hours. If I do 8 hours, get paid my 8 hours. And I don't want to get paid for a day's work. If that day's 6 hours, you've won. If that day's 12 hours, you've lost miserably. And no, no. But that's how these companies get you into it. My son was doing the same. He was working for an air conditioning firm, and they said to him that travel isn't in your wages. All right, what are you fucking working, man? You're traveling. You're not traveling. You're not going by bloody um, portal. You're actually traveling. So they used to send him down to Brighton, London, and expect him to do 8 hours a day work and then travel back again. So disgusting, that 14, 15-hour days for 8 hours pay. Then they wonder why he didn't fuck off and leave them. Mark, I know it's ridiculous, isn't it? This bloody the cost of things. Traditional beers need to be. I think all beers, both craft and traditional, need a bigger space in supermarkets. It's gone down recently in these last 7 years since I left retail. It's gone down quite a bit, and I don't see why. Because there's a hell of a lot of stuff on supermarkets that sells crap, and yet they've got more space. Never understand that. Um, Beer sells well and gets quite a small space in supermarkets. Weird. My son now, Mark, he gets paid the minute he leaves the house until the minute he gets home. And if he does a 12-hour day, he's getting time and off. So that's great now. He moved into that job last Wednesday, albeit he finished at 7 o'clock on a Friday night. He's not very happy about that. Neither would I be. Yeah. There's one night of the week I don't want to be finishing at 7. It's certainly a Friday night. Hopefully it's a one-off. Hopefully it's calm down for it. Um, Jobs are job though, aren't they? Sometimes you just have to take the rough, and it seems like we're all taking a bit more rough than we used to. In my job I'm in, I don't get any overtime whatsoever. Um, and I've only just been getting loo time back for doing extra hours. Good evening, Brian. Yes, mate. Neon Raptors took Bot 2000. Now, if you, have you drinking it straight from the fridge, or are you drinking it at room temperature? If so, if from a fridge, drink half, leave it about 40 minutes, drink the second half. The complexities change massively. At first, it's all about the walnut. The second half, when it gets warmer, it's got bourbon-esque qualities coming through. It's a stunning beer nonetheless. Absolutely stunning. German Holstenfield homebrew beer. Fair play, mate. I need to drinking slowly. Yeah, it is. It's a really good beer. It certainly puts Neon Raptor as one of the top breweries in the UK for their beers. You know, and they've certainly got a name for that these days. Bishop's Finger in Poland. Bishop's Finger. There's something really wrong with that name. Um, who calls a beer Bishop's Finger? You might as well call it Savills Finger and be done with it. But yeah, Nuba, 6.6%. I got this left for free, mate. Yeah, somebody sent me a load for free. Yeah, a mate of mine in Nottingham. He dropped me 15 beers off and loads of Leffe. So I presume that he bought it and he didn't like it. He says, "Do you want it?" And I says, "Hell yes, free beers, free beer." But yeah, Savile thing. Yeah, you can just imagine, can't you? And who's the other one? Rolf Harris, is it? Yeah, Harris Finger. You imagine someone bringing a beer out called Savile Finger. Um, yeah, you'd probably get some shite over that. I mean, I can say it because there's somebody on YouTube, um, but yeah, I mean, he's a dirty bastard. He should have been caught. You know, the BBC were very, very naughty. Gary Glitter, up the shitter. Yeah, these dirty buggers should have been caught years ago. It's amazing how people get away with stuff, isn't it? Good evening, Craig. How are you, mate? And when you look at the bloke in America, the black bloke who killed the woman, uh, the the actor who was a footballer, I can't remember his trumpet name, and he got away with it, and he never got actually accused. You know, he never got jailed for it. Can't remember his flipping name. He was in them funny films, the airport film. Um, Neon Raptor Stouts are amazing. Can't wait to get back there on Friday. Yeah. Centaur Army, the barrel age version. Ooh. Defeat the Rancor, however you pronounce it, obviously. OJ Simpson, yeah. That was ridiculous, one with OJ Simpson. How the fuck did he get away with that? That bloke in South Africa, the white bloke who killed his missus, and then made out he thought it was a burglar. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Rich people can always get away with stuff, can't they? Yeah, it's disgusting. But yeah, so craft beer festival. We've got the likes of Neon Raptor there. That Tuckbot 2000 is already potential beer of the year. There's at least 5 beers at the craft beer festival on Friday that are beer of the year potential. If I can get a bit of each one of them and then do a review while I'm there, taste testing all of them, that'll be stunning. Yeah, there'll be some very pissed up beer reviews on Friday. I do apologise now for being pissed up and doing lots of slurring beer reviews. Cosby got out of jail and tapped away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No problem. He worked at Broughton Brewery in the 90s. Up in Scotland. Old Jock. Open top vats. It's my job to clean the vat. Never saw any insects in the vats. Well, that's amazing, isn't it? Why would you think that is the question? Is the environment so clean that they're not going to get in? Or is it the smell of the beer? And they're like, fuck that. I'm not going near that. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? James in goal just took one of the knackers on Soccer Aid. Yeah, good. Which James? Obviously, I'm not watching that. So, not watching that. But, I haven't watched any football for a while, to be fair. It's strange having the World Cup in November. Is it November? October, November? But in some ways, it's a good thing because you can't go out in the evening unless you go to a pub. So if you're at home and you're watching the football, all's good. As long as it's not on at a stupid time of the day. Yeah. 4 o'clock's a good time in the winter months. Or the ex-Liverpool goal. David J. No? his name? But I know you mean. Um, but yeah, if it's not too silly a time in the winter, then it'd be good to watch the matches, especially if it's a bit, in the evening. You don't mind, do you? Yeah. What we can all feel is pain, obviously. Taking one of the bollocks, never nice. Is that right? So the CO2 is unbearable for anything living. It's interesting. So that's why Marston's, in some ways, with their beer fermenting, the CO2 just keeps. That's interesting. Yeah, Greg. It was always about money going to Dubai, wasn't it? Yeah, it's as hot as fuck over there, and it was all about the money. We all know that. We're not daft, are we? Yeah. Average SANU, including at UNICEF, is $133,000 or $64 an hour. Yeah, I don't give to charities. The reason why, we had Oxfam come to our house, and they come to your door and they're pouring all their shit onto you. So we had them, set up a bank account, paying take money out of our bank, and which is all good and well. Took money out at the wrong time of the month, and it was when we had a load of bills. We got bank charges, and then bank charges rolled on. Didn't realise it was happening, and we were paying hundreds of pounds out in bank charges because of a stupid charity taking the piss. And so we stopped doing it, and we only give to charity, ourselves direct now. We don't do any of that stuff where they want you to put it through your bank and all that. And when they come to our door, we tell them, we say we don't do it anymore. No, for that reason. And they quite agree as well, that it was wrong at the time, and it is wrong. Um, oh, they make me piss with these players that are burnt out. They want to try and do a proper working man's week, eh? Eh? They want to come work with me for a week. They're burnt out. They'll be bollocks after about 2 days. Getting pushing them over for 10 or 11 hours a day. Not a couple of hours of training on the ground, but then they're stretching the limbs and they're going, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've done a day's graft today. All these rich people are backhanders. That's the society we're in, isn't it? It's all about backhanders. Yeah. Nobody ever gives me a backhander to mow the lawn at work. Yeah. I don't even get a front hand and I'm on about. Yeah. Yeah. I do a spot of filming now and again. Not much. Mostly my own time. Septic bladder. They do make me chuckle. Yeah. Yeah. It must be tough on living on, 5 grand a week and more so, you know. I mean, what's messy on that? 500,000 a week. Wow. Jesus Christ. That's enough for 15 years of your life, if not more. Yeah. Possibly more. 20 years even. It should never be in them sort of countries. They're not. I mean, they do play football, but the football in parts of the world, or basically Europe and mostly South America, they're the top footballing places in the world. Um, Certainly not Qatar, but it'll be interesting. Be interesting to see what goes off. Green Apple and Merlin, eh? Don't make them anymore. Yeah, a lot of breweries are like that. Yeah, they have beers and don't make them anymore. Yeah, back to work tomorrow. Plenty of work to do, and I ain't chose my job yet. I bet you don't. Bowman. Yeah, yeah. $500,000 a week. Could you imagine living on $500,000 a week? Yeah. Imagine the beers the beers that you'd order. Oh, Bale was moaning if they're protecting from playing too much. He only played 24 games this season. He only started 8 of them. Yeah. And then people are saying they want him for Forest. Eh? If he's moaning like that, you'd only drink a bit. I would. Yeah. Not cheap ones either. Yeah. But yeah, filming. Yeah. I've got jobs to do when I get to work tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm on 2 days at both sites this week, so I've got to bounce away from the weddings and that. We have events on nearly every day now at work. So I've got to try and keep away from the wedding. I'd set my own brewery up. If I had that much money coming in, if I won the lottery, I'd set my own brewery up. And, you know, with the friends in the business, I'd get somebody who knows what they're doing, more than me at least. And, yeah, certainly set my own brewery taproom up. And possibly go into partnership with somebody who does know what they're doing and work it between us. Yeah. Beer reviews from the taproom. Hey, Jesus. Taproom / micro pub thing. I'd never be sober. I'd last about 5 years and fucking have no liver. Although these days, I don't know how I've got a liver now. They're mine 5 years. I've never understand this TikTok videos. TikTok or TikTok, whatever it's called. Never understood it. Never understood what the crack is with it. Just paid 250 million to sign up the Saudi Arabia Golf Tour. Money talks, doesn't it? You know? Yeah. What we need is somebody in Saudi Arabia to pay beer reviewers. TikTok beer reviews, yeah. We need someone to pay beer reviewers like £1 million each to go over there and talk about a beer in a country that don't drink it. Yeah. Don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. Tick tick. Yeah, fucking tick tick. Oh, fucking TikTok. Oh, dude. It just makes you chuckle. Tiger Woods turned down 1.2 billion. He had you in Saudi, yeah, probably would. Hence why I'm not going. But yeah, 1.2 billion. And he turned it down. Not all about the money. Money's nice, obviously, but it's not all about the money. Although a bit of money to survive is always nice, you know. Not having to worry about your bills is nice. Right, let me get another beer. Lo and behold, another Leffe Ruby. Yeah, I've got another 7 where that came from. Yeah. Getting down, man. Slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley. Back in the shed, Liam. Good evening, mate. So Russell's coming next week on Friday as well from Fire Rock. Man who got married with you and Shane, as far as I know. I mean, I could do it for me as well, mate. Definitely do it for me. £1,000,000, eh? Ugh, yeah. But you see these people win the lottery and they just waste it, don't they? One beer is all you can have tonight. When I was being breath tested at work, or the threat of being breath tested, I had to be very, very careful because obviously it was a bit of a worry about getting caught, and you know, and never knowing because obviously you don't breath test yourself, but yeah. But one bit you can get away with 2. Unless your work's got a zero beer thing, which is a bit sad. Because obviously, in cars you can get away with 35 mils or whatever it is. He didn't own his own media back. He had to pay 5 million per shot he put on the video. Fucking hell, ridiculous, that isn't it? Yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? This is the problem with earning big money, isn't it? You start spending it. So, I mean, I've got a friend who I didn't know he had a drug problem, and so he was earning big money doing his job, but he was druggy in it. He was doing well, whatever he was doing. I don't really know. I don't really care in that respect. But yeah, he chopping down drugs, and it's like, what a waste! All that money you're fucking working for, you're just wasting it. The gold and silver left, yeah, but the ruby's quite nice. It's your stomach on the bog all day. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I'll wake up in the morning and I'm straight to the toilet, but not that you needed to know that, obviously. But yeah, these things happen. And it's drinking multi beers that do me. Yeah. Neymar, 95 million. Highest paid sportsman last year. Are you sure? I would have thought Messi would have been more, or Ronaldo. I thought Messi was 500,000 a week. Although, yeah, I suppose Neymar is younger, isn't he? So all that money going into him. He must be losing a fuckload of money. Drinking is the worst drug out there. Bollocks. Heroin, cannabis. I suppose it depends. People who drink, overly drink, blame other people. I suppose it's all about what you like in life, and. But I'd never do. I'd never do drugs. Simple as that. Don't smoke either. So went to Oktoberfest back in 2008. Never been so pissed in my life. Yeah, no, waking up every day and back on the beer. We went away with somebody, and the next day, and then we'd all have a heavy night, and I do mean a heavy night. Next day, they're all back on the beer, and in the morning, I'm like, "Ah, can't you look at the stuff?" And there they are drinking beer straight around. Whoa, no, 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 not doing it. People who don't drink always blame. But yeah, the worst thing for me are people who drink, can't handle their drink, start fighting, start being abusive. They're the worst people, above anybody else. They're the worst. Those who just can't handle the drink, start smashing things up, hitting their families, come back. 8% Belgian, Double all day watching Le Mans. Oh, is that the same one I've got, mate? Down here, the Bulldog Boots. Yeah, never doing that again. But there you go. £3.50, 1982 paper bag. Mine was about 87, £15 a week at the butcher's back in 1987. Cripple Carmelet. Do you mean a triple Carmelet? The £5 one. Never touched drugs or prostitutes. No, I've never done prostitutes either. No, even though we had Totty Avenue around the corner from the Arboretum. Yeah. Oh dear. The times we drive up and down in the council van. Not good when somebody rubs the tits at you. It's like, fuck now, what's she do? Drive around again just for the nose. But yeah, these. Yeah, they were the good days. Totty Avenue. Yeah. Oh, dear. It's deadly when you open the park gates early in the morning. Some woman walks up to you and says, "You're looking for business?" I says, "No, I'm looking at the fucking gates. Looking for business." And then some bloke at the back of me fucking shouts like I am. But yeah, not good. Oh, it's got better, has it? Yeah, I've still got a shitload of it. Yeah, and I'm trying to get through my own brew as I'm trying to get through the beer wall. Although I've just bought 6. Don't be good. Got OCD in gym. Come to Aussie, yeah. You wouldn't want to in Nottingham. To be honest, these days you don't see them anymore. They've disappeared. Um, it's all online these days, isn't it? Yeah. Although down by Nottingham's Craft Beer Festival, there's a massage place called what's it called? Just got the name of it now. And it's literally 100 yards away from the beer festival. Funny as hell. And I did mention it. Bubbles massage. Yeah, yeah. If you can't handle your drink, you should never drink. If you get wanting to start a fight when you've had a drink, then you should never touch a drink. Because if you can't control yourself, no, shouldn't drink. St. Peter's did have a deal on last week for a free delivery. Yeah, good beer, good company. Yeah, it's embarrassing when I'm up into it. I've had a prostitute get in my car once. I had to drive out the top end of the Arboretum, and I'm driving onto Forest Road to get home. So we're properly in Totty Avenue. The fucking door on my car, I had this cut. The older cars, you open one lock door and it didn't open the others. This fucking car, it opened all the doors. This twat starts to get in my car. Says, "Why? Fuck off! I'm going home." Yeah, she got told to fuck off sharpish. Tales from the Arboretum. Yeah, I've seen more stuff on there than I can even remember what I've seen. Especially when I've had a beer, obviously. All right, yeah. Who's Rooney in the bubbles, eh? Hey, I've told her about that. Totty Avenue near Electric Avenue. No. It's called Forest Road in Nottingham, and but it is it used to be Totty Avenue. You don't see it. No. I mean, I drove down there for a year um, in 2020 before I got my new job, and you'd never see anything. And you used to see a lot, you know. It was one on each corner, and you felt sorry for the girls because what sort of life is it to be putting yourself on a street corner for any dirty old bastard to come up? And obviously, there's a lot of people with issues that are about men, and they'll get a woman, and they're abusive, and a lot more besides. So, but these days it's all done on the internet, isn't it? And I suppose that abuse still carries on. But and I suppose these days with the likes of the porn industry these days, that a lot of the women can do stuff virtually, and people will pay for it if that's what comes off. I can't afford a beer, and then mine going out and doing that, Charlie. And I'm happy. So, Jesus, I forgot the time. Good evening, Mr. September Sun. Cheers. It's all about the tangents. You drink a beer, but do we ever drink a beer in a pub and just talk about the beer 100%? No. We talk about a bit of life, have a bit of a laugh. It's what makes the world go round. It's never just about a 3-minute beer review. I struggle to do a 3-minute beer review. That's just me, in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, still meeting up early, mate. I'm off Friday, so I'm all good. I'm not sure what time Jagman's getting, so he may well meet us in town. There is a chance, a small chance, that we might get in early to the beer festival, so that's good. Stock up on food before. Yeah, Wetherspoon's breakfast, slow beers, and I do mean slow, no impies, and chat, bit more to eat into the festival. Try and get in on the the breweries are there. Yeah, I don't know what they call it. The early doors before the public get in. Now that would be amazing. You stress if you get 5 minutes. Jesus Christ. Half the time I hadn't touched the beer within 5 minutes. It is what it is, I suppose, in that aspect, isn't it? 10:45. Yeah. We can't be hitting the beers too. We can't be doing what we did last year down my beer shed. Pint of Wraggys and Imperial Stouts at 10 in the morning. No, no, can't do it. No. Brewing ginger beer wine. The only thing to do is keep going. With ginger, what was the percentage of the sugar in that? Ginger wine is lovely to brew. Tell you that. Absolutely amazing. Ginger beer / wine. That's really interesting. I'm tempted to do a ginger whiskey. So do a whiskey and put ginger root into it, and then let it age with the ginger root in to make a full-on ginger whiskey. I love a whiskey, but I love ginger as well. And it's not cheap to buy. You're looking at 20 quid for a bottle. It's a lot easier if you go down different routes. Um, I mean, you can actually brew a 22% ginger, a vodka at 22%, and then add ginger to it. Yeah. If we hadn't done the breakfast, Liam, we'd have been dead a lot earlier in the day. Yeah, it was good breakfast. Yeah. So yeah, Wetherspoon's breakfast, I reckon. Yeah, probably meet up somewhere near the train station, and a bit of a walk up, and have a breakfast, and then do some of the pubs in the Hockley area, Lace Market area that's nearby. There's a few tap takeovers going on. I'll do some investigating. There's a few pubs I've never been to. Well, so for me it'd be interesting to go in, and it'll be quiet on the run up, and we may speak to the people in charge as well. So it'd be good. It'd be a good start to the day. Hopefully we can get in for 4 o'clock, 2 hours early. We've all got tickets anyway, so if we can get in early, fair play. I need to put my actually print my tickets off because the wife's coming in. She won't be until 6 o'clock, and then we've got friends coming, and then whoever else comes from the beer community. Crummy Bears coming, like I say. Craft Beer Basics already working there. Red Dog Brewer's already going to be working, so it's going to be a cracking night. I reckon it'll be an absolute storm in beer festival. Matt, good evening. 2 hours to get out. Don't you hate it? Sometimes that's the problem, isn't it? It's like when we go to Alton Towers. We try and sneak out a little bit earlier, because if you don't, you better off wait until everyone's gone. Because the queues to get out, you might as well be staying on the bar. The doodle of yourself on a beer mat. Yeah, I do. I fancy that as well. Yeah, especially now I've had my hair cut. Yeah, it won't look so fast. Yeah, if it had been this morning, I thought, no, don't bother doodling that. Like that bloody bloke on the Wraggys beer review, Wraggys Golden Ale. It's going to be a stunning night, nonetheless. Yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Nice to get out every now and again. Anyway, these events only happen a few times a year in your local vicinity. Anyway, I mean, I know Brew London happened, looking smooth. Oh, but yeah, Brew London happened. I don't know if the grey shirt works. Yeah, I might have to get a different colour shirt with Wraggys reviews on, or Wraggys beer reviews. So we was on about this earlier. Looking sharp. Cheers. We was on about this earlier about changing the channel from Wraggys beer review, beers, wines, and spirits reviews, which is a bit of a long chuffing name, down to either Wraggys reviews or Wraggys beer reviews. But a lot of people have got beer reviews in the name, and and I know Hopzine is just Hopzine. Rampant Line, there's no mention of it. Crummy Beard, no mention of it. So it's interesting. Cheers, mate. Cheers, PJ. Yeah, as a gardener, you've got to have a decent garden. You know, most people take the piss. There's a walk by and say, "I thought you was a bloody gardener," and 33 less there than Ragged. Oh, no. And I thought I was stressed. Eh? Yeah, I stress and anxiety, and I reckon air gel back in the day. Yeah, that air gel. I reckon that's what I used to have a full head of hair, proper decent hair, black. Started using gel. What happens? The hair falls out. Wraggys brown fizzy water reviews. That'll be Friday. Yeah, yeah. Wraggys pissed up reviews. That'll be Friday. You know. Yeah. Does anyone know a decent gardener? Nothing. Yeah, I hope so. Brill cream. My dad used to use that. Yeah. And to be fair, he had jet black hair uh, all the way through life. Well, part of life that I saw him at least. But yeah, he used to use the old Brill cream. Thank God he didn't give me a second name. Yeah, his middle name was Godfrey. I'd have fucking died. That would have been my second name. Nottingham Council. None of the councils have got good gardeners these days. You need to look around and see how shit the gardens are. Yeah, they're absolutely crap. Anyway, looks like I better go back up the house before I get the bollocking off the wine and chip bath up here in Yorkshire. Yeah, I used to use wet look gel. It's good. If you put water on your hair, it goes from grey to black. God knows what that's about. But it'll have grown a bit by next week. But at least it's not sticking out like a twat, which is better, isn't it? You know, as you get older, you'll know these things. Yeah. And when you've got no hair, you've got a full set of hair down your bollocks, none on top. Yeah, what's that about? Eh? And your bollocks hair is jet black, and your hair's grey on top. What's that about? Oh, eh? Strange. Just start taking you out of your bollocks and sticking it on your head. Eh? There's a procedure. But anyway, yeah, you want to get some of that back to black on your head. I tried that, and someone took piss one day, and I thought, fuck that, I'm not doing that again. Yeah. I put some of that shampooing stuff that you shampoo in it, and it helps you go back to dark. And I put it on, and we was in Spain, and it looked awful. You know, even I could tell. And I'd gone from being like great, like I am now, to jet black, and I looked 10 years younger. And I did look great, but you know, I looked at myself, and I'm like, this fucking it looks so wrong, you know. So I soon got rid of that. Never did it again. So there you go. There's a lesson to be learned. Don't mess about with gels. Yeah, yeah, stuff like that shit. But anyway, thank you all for watching. It's been a good laugh. It's Noon Lane Brewery Shop today. Now, no, I've not seen their beer. Never heard of it, to be honest. Yeah, so they've got some nice beers for you. Aaron Green in Spain. Yeah, there's also in it. Yeah, I've had green hair before, back in my child days. You know, like a 17-year-old days, spraying your hair green, all that bit. Yeah, it was back in the 80s, man. So yeah, a bit older now. But in any case, gotta run. Gotta go back up the house. Go and see the wife. Try not to get a bollocking for being drunk. Don't think I am drunk, but one more probably will be. And back to work in the morning. So no more beer tonight. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining in. Planning to do a live on Thursday night before the inevitable very, very drunk session on Friday. Friday, there's going to be, if you're subscribed, there's lots of videos going to be coming. They're going to be flowing in all night long. It's going to be funny. And thank you all for joining in. See you later. Bit like Andy Cat, yeah. Born Bain almost. Going into my cup of tea. Yeah, yeah, just let it finish. Or even chuck some more yeast in, turbo yeast or something like that. Got everyone. Thank you all. Cheers.